What are the emotions after that little roller coaster? I guess another offensive showcase, and some defense. What are your thoughts?
I thought first quarter, I break it down to that. I thought we were pretty good defensively in the first quarter with a lot of things that we wanted to do. Brisbane's a great offensive team. I mean, they must be number one offensive team in the league, as far as shooting percentages and things like that go. Number one three-point shooting team. One of the things that we wanted to focus on was trying to limit how many threes that they made. We probably should have went the other way and limited how many threes they took. We actually did a good job of that. 24 is a pretty good number with that team because that's what they really want to take. But I thought one of the things that our group has shown, especially in this game, is I remember when it's 70-73, and normally when it gets to that point, we kind of break down sometimes. And I guess we've definitely learned from our mistakes, especially in the last week. Illawarra and the Cairns loss. I think we've learned a lot from those two games. I mean, I know they were losses, but we learned a lot, and it showed tonight. And a lot of guys stepped up, and I feel like where we are with the growth that we've had in the last 12 games, win or lose. I feel like this group could really keep this going. And that's one of our goals is to just take it game by game and let it play out how it's going to play out. I keep giving them the story of when I first got here in 2010, and we lost the first game, and I said this to the guys today. Hey, you guys already did one part of it. You won the first one. Now it's just to keep trying to, game by game, just keep moving, because I feel like our group has grown together on the floor and off the floor.
This was a big one, wasn't it? Because you're playing the team you're kind of chasing who owned that fourth spot. So it was almost like a double one. Yep. And I think now there's like one or two losses between all those four teams. I mean, you are right back in the race now, aren't you?
Mark, for games that we lose, I mean, we're willing on game. I mean, I'm glad that our group just didn't feel like we were completely out of it when we dropped that game, because that was a heartbreaking game. And we went to Cairns and have another heartbreaking overtime game. And I'd say just the mental side, the mental growth that our group showed, getting that Cairns game in New Plymouth the other day was huge. And then to come back here and play against a team like Brisbane, who everyone's put in the top four right now because of the basketball they're playing and stuff like that. But there's a lot of teams I feel like that are just starting to hit their stride right now. I mean, Cairns has been pretty good in the last month. We've been pretty okay, pretty solid, better than we were at the beginning of the season, I would say. So, I mean, we're just going to take it game by game. We play Melbourne next week, so now our focus changed to Melbourne. But yeah, it was a big one winning this Brisbane game.
Getting 53 points between Finn, Weeksy, and Pat off the bench. Was that the difference kind of in a way for you?
I just look at our group, and I mean, I when I look at the stats and things like that, I just feel like, and I say this to our team all the time, we never know whose day it's going to be. I look at the starters and I say, hey, look, Corey played 16 minutes. I thought he was having a decent game. Ty, Tommy, these are probably the lowest minutes both of those guys have played. So I feel like Finn has been doing this every day in training. It's nothing new that we've seen, but I feel like what he's done a great job of this year is when his opportunity presents itself, he takes full advantage of it. And I just stuck with him. And it's great that he performed the way he did.
Finn, what did you sort of? I mean, you had no points at halftime and not many chances. Second half, particularly late in that third period, when kind of you said it looked like you'd lost the momentum, and I think you exploded for 10 of the last 11 points. What sort of runs through your mind at a time like that? Do you just feel it? Do you just feel the chance?
It's just like KB said, you just got to be ready when your opportunity comes. You might not be getting shots or anything during the flow of the game or the first half, but it doesn't matter. You just have to ride it out. We let it slip a little bit in the last sort of 40 seconds of the first half, with sort of that second unit on the floor, and I was pretty mad at that. I wanted to come out and sort of change that. So I think when Ty got his other foul, just stayed ready and took the opportunity when it came.
You looked like you felt, again, like some of these other games this year, you felt like you could get into the paint and attack them.
Yep. Yeah, it's like that. You just got to, I guess, just wait till the opportunity to drive comes. And, I didn't have that in the first half, but that's fine. And you wait for it and don't force anything. But, when it rises, drive hard.
KB, that's about good ball movement though, isn't it? Like guys like Finn and Pat getting his chances, you know, off those sort of step back moves he makes.
Yep.
It's the ball was moving well today, wasn't it?
I feel like that's one place where we've gotten better at in the last few games is just moving the ball from side to side, and that's all coming with the cohesiveness of the group, just continuous growth in trainings and things like that. And you know, sometimes you end up hitting. I mean, there's so many teams that you know you rank them very high, and I see this all the time in NBA basketball, Europe, or whatever. Teams perform well at the end of the season, and then they get rated very high the next season because of what they did the last 10 games or so or whatever. The best thing that I think is the ball movement has been good, but I also think that the last 3 or 4 games we've made shots, especially our three-point shot has been pretty good and pretty consistent. We still need to get our free throws together at times, but you know it's been good, man, and I feel like that if we can keep just staying steady, never get too big when we win a game. We know we can't drop many others to stay in the hunt, but you know it's not even. At first we were talking about playoffs, but now it's not even talking about playoffs. It's just talking about making sure that during that game we focus on just winning that game.
Because there was that point in the game that you mentioned that they were up 73-70, had got a few technical fouls, Finn and Weeks,
Yep.
And in past weeks the heads have kind of dropped. Is that what we're talking about? You know, keeping the momentum.
Well, one of the things that was spoken about was, and this was it's gonna laugh at this, but something was brought to my attention about how we looked on the bench in Cairns. There was a moment where we looked down, we looked deflated. I think Amani had came to the bench and threw his water bottle, and he was frustrated because the fouls that he had got called on him. Corey was frustrated about certain things that had happened in the game, and we just looked like a team that wasn't there to win. So we spoke about it. And this group, and like I say, like our group has basically grown so much together. And I feel like the culture's gotten so much better with our group and things like that. But what I said to the guys is, hey, we look, people are saying we look like we aren't a team. And then when I said that, and it was cool because of the ride down to New Plymouth, I got to talk to Sean and Amani. And they were like, no, we all like each other. Like, there's nothing like that. And so I said, well, the look that other people have is that we don't look like a group, like a team. And that's all we spoke about. And from that point, you can just see how the bench is right now. You can see that because we don't have a problem with that. Yeah, it's basketball. You're going to be frustrated at calls. You're going to be frustrated if the ball's not going in the hoop. Like, there's so many things that play factors into how people are on the bench. You know, it's not all peaches and cream where everyone's just happy when you take them out of a game. That's not reality. So, you know, we've grown with that as well. You know, and we spoke about it, and that it wasn't a nice speech. It was more of me frustrated because I got brought into something at a time, and I didn't want to be there, and it was like, you know.
I think it was your birthday.
It was my birthday, and I had an 8 o'clock meeting on my birthday, and it was speaking about our body language, and I just went off on the group, but everyone understood it, and they were all shaking their head. They were all engaged with what I was saying because they felt it from the heart. And I think that we're just taking step by step. We're showing how tight we are as a group, and that's what you need at the end of a season. This league has shown me over the course of my playing years and watching as a fan, anything can happen at the last few weeks. Anyone can drop a game. Anyone can win a game. And if it's close, like Mark said, there's one game that separates all of the guys that's trying to get in the top 4. Who knows who's going to end up there?
So playoffs aside, you're just saying you're happy with how the group is from inside.
I couldn't be more proud of this group. And it doesn't just happen when we win. Yeah, we were all frustrated that we lost the Wollongong game, the Illawarra game. We were all frustrated after that game because we felt like that was a game we let slip. We also felt like we let that Cairns game slip. But over the last month, I feel like we've been playing some decent basketball. You know, we've been scoring with no problem, but the only problem is we've been giving up too many points. But we're getting there, man, and I feel like if we just keep buying into what we believe and believing in each other, we'll be right there in the end.
Okay, the Weeksies, I think, have double figures for 11 of the last 13 games.
Yep.
It's now not a surprise when he comes out and contributes well, is it? You kind of expect that now. Is he in that sort of confidence?
I know what I'm going to get from him. What you want to do as a coach is going into the game, you want to know what you're going to get from every player. Everyone keeps talking about starting or not starting, and it drives me crazy when people say that stuff. It's like, this kid's been firing, coming in, playing off the bench. Why would I ever mess with that? You know, and Same with Pat. Put Pat back on the bench. He comes off the bench. Doesn't matter. Who's ever firing with our group, that's who we try to leave on the floor. And I feel like now everyone's starting to really buy into that. I know what I'm going to get from a lot of guys that step on the floor. So that's a great feeling.
Good that Sean had some help, because he's been kind of carrying the load a lot, hasn't he?
Well, one of the things I feel is that we were actually going into Sean a whole lot. Now we've just started to move the ball from side to side a little bit better. And I think that's where a lot of the other opportunities are coming from. Finn plays well out of what we're trying to do when the ball goes side to side. So, he knows how to make his reads. He's comfortable with the system. But, I think a lot of times we were wearing Sean down. And I think that's what happened in the Illawarra game. We kind of wore Ty and Sean down in the Illawarra game and couldn't make plays at the end of the game. But the help that we're getting with this and the minutes that I'm seeing guys play, while every other team's getting tired, I think we're starting to make our growth.
Then do you feel like the guys now, 2 wins in a row, do you feel that what KB's talking about coming together, do you feel like you can go out, it's Melbourne next, we know how good they are, but you can still go out and take care of business and keep this roll going?
Yeah, exactly. I think everyone around this league knows that anyone can beat anyone on any given night. That's why it's such a great league to play in and be a fan of. So we're ready to play against anyone, and we'll come out there and give everything it's got.
What's important as far as mindsets go? Do you just have to keep the same mindset?
Just same mindset that we came in tonight, I guess, and just taking it one game at a time, being consistent with how we're training, how we're working, how we're preparing, and just going to work.
Perfect. Thank you.